Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Pop Spot, where we pop about everything we saw in local independent wrestling in 2025. It is our year-end award show. The Poppies are here. I am your host, Andre C. Right over here, joining me as always is my co-host, my boy, AWS.
Always great to be here, Andre. I am just super jazzed about last year and this year. There's a lot I want to say. I'm gonna save most of it towards the end. But before we begin, I do want to give a couple of shout outs because this weekend was great. On Friday, I went to MPW Seek and Destroy at the Alberta Ave Community Hall,
which I was supposed to go with you, but weather has been absolutely terrible here, and I live just outside of the city, so driving in was very sketchy. So I decided to not kill myself,
which is entirely fair and valid. But no, it was cool. We saw some friends there. Nigel and Judge Ben was there. It was really cool. 2 shout outs, nothing. I'm not going in depth, no reviews, but 2 shout outs for 2 specific matches that were amazing. One is Tyler Adams versus Alex Houston. Alex, your match was phenomenal. Very well done, sir. And the second match I want to mention is the triple threat tag match, which is the Banger Brigade versus Pirate Party versus the Carnival of Chaos. I'm a huge fan of tag team wrestling, as you'll see later in this awards show. That was a really good triple threat tag match. It was very fun. Yeah, no, it was a great show. Definitely go check them out.
It's very possible MPW could end up on this award show at the 2026 awards. We did not get out to any MPW shows in the year of 2025, but I've already been at one.
3 of them.
Oh, you went to MPW?
I went to a couple of them, mostly because Andreas was inviting me, and I remember
I never got an invite. I
don't know why. I think it was just Andreas is bad at invites. I know I briefly talked about one of them in episode 5, which was the Great Canadian Liquor Bash, and that other RCW show I can't remember the name of.
The Great Canadian Brewery Bash, yeah.
Brewery Bash, yes.
Yeah.
No, I mentioned it briefly once, but hey, in New Year, hopefully I'll be able to drag Andre to an MPW show and we'll be able to cover a couple of them. So look forward to that in the New Year, maybe.
I had a ticket. I was supposed to go, just couldn't make it in. So our friend Faisal found another friend to take my ticket so that my ticket did not go to waste. Faisal helping us get our tickets for this show. Thank you to him for that. But we're not here to talk about 2026. We're here to talk about 2025. We're going to award the Poppies. The first annual Poppy Awards are here. We're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about some of our favorite categories. So we have our favorite special guests of the year. Those are people that were brought in from different companies, big wrestlers, big names, things like that were brought in. And we're going to talk about we're each going to pick 3. We each picked 3 for these. Our top 3 are coming in this year. We also have our top newcomers there. We're not going with a rookie of the year because there's a bunch of wrestlers in this province that just came up in this province in last year, but have been wrestling for a long time. So it's not rookie of the year award. This is a newcomer of the year award. People that showed up on the scene in 2025 in the local Edmonton independent scene that we are big fans of. He might have a shirt on of somebody that might have
maybe,
award.
Maybe. It couldn't be anyone.
Could be anyone. But some of our favorites. From our favorites, we have multiple award recipients on that one. We have our best wrestler or our match of the year awards. Where we have a match from we each picked a match from each company: RCW, LPW, Top Town Pro Wrestling, and CWE. We've decided not just to cover, and then so we picked one from each. We have our tag team of the year, which we each picked one tag team.
It was tough.
Well, tag team wrestling was across. I didn't feel we had a vast enough tag teams across multiple different companies to do a tag team of the year for each company. So we decided to each pick one. Very interesting on who our picks were.
I'm excited to hear yours.
And then we have our tag team or our wrestler of the year award.
One from each promotion.
One from each company on that one too. That one was a little more symbiotic. I'll say.
Yeah, we were pretty close on that, I think. I just want to mention that, we here at the Pop Spot appreciate any and all promotions.
Yes.
I know that Andre C may be a little biased because he works for one or two of these promotions, but in my opinion, I think every promotion deserves a little bit of spotlight, especially in the terms of their wrestlers and their matches. So I think us giving each promotion equal opportunity on this show was a great stroke of genius from Andre C and myself, if I could say so.
Yeah, the only company that we covered this year that we aren't specifically angling out an award for is Black Hole Pro, and that's mainly because they only had one show, so we kind of can't. It's kind of hard to judge off that. And majority, a good chunk of the roster is also guys that work in other companies in this province.
Yeah.
So, we're just gonna I know I've been shouting out at least one person from Black Hole Pro, and I know Adam is shouting out somebody else from Black Hole that we only saw at Black Hole Pro this year. So there will be shout outs on the show towards the Black Hole. Every promotion we saw this year, including MC and MPW. I think 2025 has been one of the best years for Edmonton independent wrestling. I've been going. So good. Yeah, just before we get into the awards, I've been going to indie wrestling in Edmonton since 2008. That's when I started going. I went because I think the first show I ever went to was featuring Christian Cage. I went because it was Christian Cage. I was a big fan of him in his TNA run. He was still in TNA at the time. So I went because he was on the card, and that was my first ever PWA event. Actually, I think I've been to an indie wrestling show in 2006 before that in Morinville, where I live, for RCW.
Yep.
But that was just because they were running at the Legion, which I was a part of at the time. So that was a good time. But since then, I've moved to, and like I started regularly going to indie rest in 2008 and PWA, and then when RCW started running full time in Edmonton, and I think it was like 2009, 2010, I started going to them. I started going to Monster Pro for a bunch of years there. Met a person I really feel is a really close friend now in Rich King, who's helped me tremendously in my health game. And got to actually meet I was a big fan of, Mitch Clark in that world too, through Monster Pro. I got to meet him and have become friends with him over these past bunch of years. So I'm independent wrestling has given a lot to me. And then in post pandemic or pre-pandemic, we had Love Wrestling pop up, and then we had Force Wrestling pop up, and then Love Wrestling came out of that when they had the co-promoted show. Then Love Wrestling has exploded over these last few years. We had Top Talent coming from the mind of Harlan Abbott and others. And I think independent wrestling has just been absolutely tremendous, and it's been getting better and better every year. And 2025, I gotta say, has been one of my favorite years. I've made some great friends in professional wrestling. I'm now doing my show with my boy AWS. Doing this as the love, we can feel the love. I hope you all can feel the love that we have for the independent professional wrestling scene, because I love it, and I know he loves it. And I'm fortunate enough that I've been able to. I got back to working for RCW this year. LPW gave me a chance for the WXCWS show 31, and I did a decent enough job that I'm coming back for the show on the 22nd of this
22nd
or 22nd. Sorry, Thursday the 22nd of January. I'll be back up for that one Thursday night. I can't wait. I'm loving getting all these opportunities to do all this really fun stuff with professional wrestling. So Adam, how are you feeling about professional wrestling?
I guess I'll go a little bit into my history. So my first professional indie wrestling show was 2013 RCW. It was a great show. And, I was on and off for a while. I started regularly going to wrestling shows, and I think 2016 was when I really started. I dove into PWA. I got to meet Cody Rhodes, which was hilarious. It was super fun. I got to kiss the ring when he was doing the Ring of Honor ring gimmick. That was fun. I kind of fell out of love around COVID because, I was working I was like diving into my work at Co-op at the time. And, just a bunch of stuff happened essentially. Only recently came back. I'd say mid 2024 was my first indie wrestling show back. Mm-hmm. Kind of just dove right back into it. I fell back in love with this sport that I had, had an on and off relationship with for so long. Reconnected with Andre and other members of the Horde. Was very happy to get an amount of love I wasn't expecting from not just our Andre and my friends, but even the wrestlers. Like, I've made some really decent friends. Like what Andre C said, Rich King has helped me a lot with my weight loss journey. Mitch Clark, I'd like to consider him a pretty decent acquaintance now. People like TY, I'm very happy to and honored to have talked to. There's so many people. Like, there's
the
too
shirt
many
you're
people
wearing.
Chad,
I think he's a very
Chad
good friend.
Debuted on the first show that we covered on the Pop Spot, and I literally went from who is this guy to holy shit, this guy is amazing, and he is one of my favorite people in this business. Yeah, no, it was super cool. I've met so many cool people, and I'm honored that this show has given me a platform to talk to these guys. And soon in a more interviewee context, we'll get to that later.
That'll come in.
But yeah, no, I'm honored that this show has given me a platform. I'm honored that you brought me on. I love this sport, and again, much like he said, I hope you can feel the love and passion that I have for this sport, because I love Edmonton professional wrestling. And 2025 was an absolute banger year. I don't want to wait anymore. Let's get into it.
Yeah. So we'll talk more about 2026 at the end of this show, but we're already 12 minutes into this show. I think it's time to actually start giving out some awards. So let's talk about what we've loved in professional wrestling in Edmonton, in the Edmonton indie scene this year. We have the Poppies, ladies and gentlemen.
Shout out to Andre for this amazing thumbnail.
It's all right. It's all right.
No, this is you've done 25 thumbnails for this show. This is my favorite one so far.
Oh, I was going to put you and me on here, but then I was like, I don't want to break the camera with my face more than I already do. So
we've already been on one thumbnail, that TNA weekend thumbnail. I think that's fine.
That's true. That's good. I was going to put it on because it's you and me, but I was like, no, let's celebrate the show. Let's celebrate the companies that we're covering. So we're going to talk about it. I should really have my phone lined up the right way so I know what we're going to.
That would help, yeah.
Because I'm not.
I actually don't know the order you put these in.
So. As I've shown for 25 episodes, I'm not good at my job.
What this proves you're good at your job. Stop it.
No, I'm not. I'm not prepared for my job. Let's say that
makes more sense.
All right. So let's talk about. We're going to start it off with special guests of the year.
Okay.
And we're going to AWS's picks first.
All right. Cool. So my picks for best guests of the year, I have them on a slightly different metric than I think Andre C has. I measured my metric on favorite guests of the year on, one, the quality of their matches, but two, how nice they were to talk to and how much of an impact they put on me. So number 3, and again, this really should be in no particular order except for number 1 for these top 3s, honestly. Number 3 is KPK. Now, KPK is a tag team out of Ontario. They are an amazing pair of humans, Abu and Ahmed. They had what I consider to be my match of the year from Black Hole, if I had to pick one, the Short Kings and KPK tables match. I got to chat with these guys both after the Black Hole show and at the RCW show following.
Yeah, they were in the crowd.
They were in the crowd, and I just, I walked up to them and I was like, "Hey, so that tables match was absolutely fire. I really hope you guys come back." They were super chill guys. Very happy that I got to talk to them. Mm-hmm. Number 2 is Nick Nemeth, and he is solely up this high because he offered to watch my stand-up and give me tips on it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, no,
I did not know this.
Yeah, so when Malcolm and I went up to talk to him, and I told him, yeah, no, I'm kind of an amateur stand-up in the city. He was like, hey, no, send some stuff. I want to watch it. I'm like, fuck yeah. So yeah, I have sent him a couple of things, and he's giving me some tips, but
sick.
He seems to think I'm pretty funny, so I think that's huge.
You are. To all those out there, I have been to a couple shows for AWS, and he is a very funny dude. Like his jokes.
Yeah.
Some of them hit harder for me because I know some of the people he talks about in these jokes, so it hits even harder for me. But the jokes, even if you didn't know him and you didn't know the people, his jokes are insanely funny.
Yeah. Again, I appreciate the compliments from my buddy Andre C, but it's different when it's someone that you like have seen do professional stand-up before. Like, and he had that relationship with Amy Schumer for a while. Like it's genuinely great compliments from Nick Nemeth, and that is solely why he's number 2.
Well, just before you get to number 1, a friend of mine, Adam Blank, actually got to open for Mr. Nick Nemeth when he was here one time, and he said, like, even Nemeth, Nemeth was in the back pacing. He said he was more nervous for this than he was in front of a WrestleMania crowd. He was more nervous in front of a room of 300 people than he was in performing in front of a stadium at WrestleMania, because while their eyes are all on him in wrestling, I guess he said it feels different when they're all in this little room.
It's more
staring
intimate.
Directly at him. They're not looking at the spectacle; they're looking at him. And he said, I think that's crazy. So the fact that he was like, "Send me your stuff. I want to see it." I think that is absolutely cool, because I know he's told stories about people that helped him come up, and that's really cool.
Yeah, he's a super cool guy. Again, very appreciative of that, Nick. Number 1 for me, by far, by a landslide, is Shotzi. Shotzi came here for Top Talent Slam Fest. She had a really good match with Ava Lawless. But after the show, like, I went into her tent and she was, signing stuff for fans, but I waited until like the line had died down, and we had like a 15-minute conversation about horror movies, improv, a bunch of different really cool things. And like she the only reason I stopped talking to her is because she wanted to go and enjoy the fest, enjoy K&A's before it was over. And obviously, fair, you're not here in Edmonton that often. But God, it was super cool talking to her and just picking that brain, because I know she's a huge horror movie fan. I know she's done some collabs with Dead Meat, which is my favorite horror movie YouTube channel. It was just really cool to pick that brain. And I hope I get to see her again someday and like tell her straight up, hey, that 15-minute conversation we had about horror movies, just shooting the shit, that really stuck with me. And that is why Shotzi Blackheart is my favorite guest of 2025.
There you go.
Let us move on to Andre's top 3 guests.
So, 2 of them are not a surprise to Mr. AWS. One of them,
it's not a surprise.
So in third, I picked Ultimo Guerrero. I've been a fan of this man for years and years. Stuff he's done in independent in Lucha Libre. He's a legend. He's done so much. Yep. I think he carried the MLW championship this year. I think he's a tremendous professional wrestler, and it was just such a cool. Actually, this is one where it was more like it was just because I got to see him and got to meet him. It was just that was really cool. He barely spoke a lick of English, so you didn't really get a chance to talk to him, but understandable. But dude,
he was really cool. I got a selfie with him. It was really cool.
Yeah, me too. And he was just super nice, super chill. It was just nice to have a quick minute with him, with a legend in professional wrestling. But it really stuck. That one really stuck out to me in that way. Second, I would say Ninja Mac. I think we got to meet him. He was super nice. I got his mask right here.
There it is. I have his shirt. It's upstairs.
There you go. And he was just talking with him about wrestling and stuff was really cool. And again, I've been watching Japanese wrestling for a while. I'm a big fan of him. All the stuff he's done in New Japan, stuff he's done in Noah. I've been a fan of stuff he's done on the American independent scene. I've been such a fan for so long, and just getting to have a conversation with him was absolutely tremendous. He was so cool. I got to give it up to him. But number one, I think one of the best conversations I had was with Kai McKenna. We were chatting at her booth. She was just so sweet, and I know after we posted the show that she was on for LPW. She shared it out. She messaged, thank you so much for saying great things. She was just so sweet and so nice. And I'm a really big fan of her. Following her on her Insta, she's a huge hockey fan, which I really fell back in love with hockey in this last year and a half. And she's a big fan of Shoresy, which I'm just getting into that show now. But she's just so nice to talk to and just chat with. And she was so sweet. And I ended up getting her pin too on top of it all, which is on my announcing jacket.
Nice.
She's just it was one of those ones where it just sticks with you and you become a fan of a person. And Spencer, bring her back in 2026. I really want to see her wrestle again.
I want to see her. That was on one of the shows I couldn't make because I was working dark. Come on, Spencer, do it. Book it, you coward. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, bring her back. I thought she was out of training, and bring her back because she in the show she was at, she ended up working in the scramble match. I want to see her come back and work a singles or in a tag match. Bring her back, Spencer.
Yeah, please bring her back. I want to see her wrestle
in a more feature match. I want to see her. Come on,
yeah,
more time.
Cool.
Yeah. So.
Very good top three. Very solid.
I went across 3 companies for this one.
Mine were almost across three companies. No, not 2. The top 2 were both from top.
Yeah, but again, it shows the people that it's coming in right now, and just some of the tremendous wrestling that people are putting on in this city, and it's absolutely tremendous.
Yeah, no, genuinely. This is a very solid top 3 guests. Like Ninja Mac was a Ninja Mac was number 4 for me. Like it was really close, but yeah.
Yeah. So we're gonna move on to our newcomers of the year. These are people that have come into the Edmonton independent scene in 2025 and have had more than one match. Like if Kaya had been here multiple times, I would have put her in my newcomers category. Mm-hmm. But she gets special guest because she's only been here once. Yeah, so people that have come in and have worked multiple times or work here regularly, and because we have the same top 3.
We do have the same top 3, which is crazy.
4, and then we realized one of them had actually wrestled in 2024. So we're like, oh, it's not a newcomer. Crap. So we adjusted to make it our top 3 newcomers. There is one obvious omission when we go to talk about him.
We will give that man his flowers eventually.
So our top 3 newcomers of the year. All right, I'll kick off number 3, Jax Wilder. I think he had an absolutely tremendous year since debuting with LPW, and then coming over to RCW. I can say this, absolutely genuinely great human being who I've had conversations with, super nice guy, and has really exploded. He had his match with he's had a match with Harlan Abbott that absolutely tore the house down at RCW in a brawl. I know he has a program going over in LPW with Michael Richard Blaze. That is
he eliminated MRB from the Revolution Rumble.
Yeah, so just absolutely tremendous stuff with this, and I have to give it up to Jax Wilder for having a tremendous year. This is number 3 newcomer of the year. I'll give it up to you for number 2. Cool.
Yeah, number 2 is our boy Lone Star Scotty Ace. Very meteoric rise from the beginning of the year. He's bounced from multiple promotions. He's wrestled for 3 out of the 4 big promotions this year. And I think the only reason he may have wrestled for CWE in a different city, I don't remember. But he's wrestled for LPW, Top, and RCW all within the span of a year. And in the span of that year, he has gotten 2 RCW.
Oh, he was with CWE?
He was with CWE? Oh, yeah, he was in the Rumble. On
the last show we saw, he was in the Rumble.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Scotty. So he's wrestled for all 4 of the promotions. And in that time, this first year of his career, he has gotten 2 RCW International Tag Team title reigns. 1 with number 1 on this list, and 1 with one Steven Styles.
That was the Canadian tag team.
That was the Canadian tag team. Okay, my bad.
You won those off of the Steves.
That was off of OSV. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So 1 Canadian tag team title, 1 international tag team title reign. I think out of all of the people on this list, he's the one that has won the most gold, and 2 belts in your rookie year is impressive. Scotty, I've watched this man grow. He's, again, a genuinely amazing human being to talk to. He has grown as a wrestler. He has grown as a person. He's just such a super cool guy to talk to, and very happy with number 2. Not as much as number 1, and I feel like because I am wearing his shirt, it is appropriate. Number 1 is Chad Money Mills, and it is the Cinderella story of this year, I think, is Chad Money Mills' story. From being a complete nobody in his first show, like when he came out during RCW Showtime, you could hear the pin drop until he actually started to get people riled up. But he went from that to being one of the most beloved people in this industry in Edmonton this year. He's had a Canadian tag team title run with Scotty Ace. He's had several high rated appearances in LPW and in RCW. He has gained a fan base known as the Money Pit, which, I might be the head bitch in charge of. But he's gotten accolades outside of wrestling. I mean, ESC Slow Pitch League A Championship reign holder.
That is the greatest, and he has to come back next year to defend his champ. He has to be back.
He has to defend the Slow Pitch Championship. He has to. In all seriousness, I think I've met so many great people in this business in 2025. Chad is my favorite, and no, that's no slight to anyone that I've met in this business. Chad is just genuinely the nicest person. We had a really good conversation. I asked for his shirt, and he physically drove to my house a couple of days before he left Edmonton the first time to give me
mine off too.
To give me my and Andre's shirt. And we had a good 5-minute conversation right there on my front steps, just about, how great he is, how much he's improved, and how much I want him back. And he's come back a couple times in this year. I cannot wait for you to come back again. I cannot wait to be the leader of the Money Pit once again. Chad, I know you're going to be watching this wherever you are. We love you, man.
Yeah, I gotta give my props to Chad too. I think he's been absolutely tremendous, and again, become a great friend. Especially every time I see him at a show, absolutely tremendous. When we popped up at the LPW XCWS show, and I actually was backstage doing stuff to help because I was announcing that early show. He was like, "Oh my God, you're doing this! You're doing something." I'm like, "Yeah." It was he's been just a tremendous friend, a tremendous friend in the world of professional wrestling. Now that Scotty Ace has become a tremendous friend too, Jax Wilder. All tremendous human beings. Like Chad, for the moment he showed up, you and me, I think we're the only one just cheering for him when he initially came out.
Yep, it was. The pin was silent except for us.
And it was just, we were the only ones that we started popping off, and he was like, yeah. And he used us to kind of get up and start firing the rest of the crowd up, and the rest of the crowd got behind him. And it was just, I absolutely loved him. And since then, the Money Pit has been bringing the Red Solo Cups to shows. We have the Red Solo Cups celebrating him at the shows, passing them out to our friends. And just I love to see somebody come in, have such an impact, and then have to take off. Because again, he has real life back in Ontario, but he has still come back twice to be part of the Edmonton and independent wrestling scene. So again, great friend, great wrestler. Again, same thing as Scotty H, great friend, great wrestler, and same thing to Jack Swell, great friend, great wrestler, and absolutely love to see him. To somebody that might be watching this, we haven't forgotten about you, sir. You will be talked about in a little bit.
Your flowers were coming. Do not worry, my friend.
You've got a couple of them. But
you got 3 from me.
You got a couple from me. So I think it's time to go into our matches of the year.
All right.
Our favorite match of the year. We're going to kick it off with CWE. And we're going to kick it off with mine because of what this match meant to me. Getting to see
very strong choice
live in person. This match was incredible. It was an amazing match between Gabriel and Austin Aries. It was just, I think this match means a lot for me for CWE. I loved a lot of other matches in CWE. Don't get me wrong. The other one that was my runner-up was Bobby versus Cam in the cage.
Yes, that was phenomenal.
February. But just Austin Aries, getting to chat with him before the show, bought his book, I started reading it. It's really good. He signed it for me. We chatted. I asked him about Wrestlelicious. He was absolutely tremendous there. I know he didn't make my list, but it's a little easier for him not to make my guest of the year because I'm putting him here. And just I think he had an absolute tremendous match with Gabriel, and all props to Gabriel for being able to hang with Austin Aries, because it ain't. I don't think it's easy to hang with Austin Aries.
It's not easy.
Incredible, and I think she just had such a great match. It was so much fun for me to watch this, and I know our friend Nate was super excited for this too, because he's a huge Austin Aries fan. Huge, and yeah, it just was such a fun match, fun time. I had a blast watching this one. I got to give it up to Austin Aries versus Gabriel Lestat.
Very good match. I can agree with that. My match of the year for CWE, it's going to be the Rumble to remember. I'm a sucker for a Rumble, but like I was a little worried coming into this show because we had watched, I believe, 2 Rumbles before this, because there was the Revolution Rumble, and then there was like one other like Rumble style match.
No, this one and the Revolution, and then we have the Battleground coming up later this month.
Oh, right, yeah.
That's what it is.
I don't remember what I was thinking. But yeah, no, the Revolution Rumble was chaotic. It was like pardon my French, it was a clusterfuck to cover for the show. And I was really worried going into the Rumble to remember if it was going to be as much of that. It was great. We had Cam with the Iron Man-ish moment. We had Cody having a really good stretch in the early game. We had Ronnie Attitude pulling the Road Dogg 99 Royal Rumble, just standing at the ropes. Scotty Ace got a moment to shine in there. Everyone got a pretty decent showing in this match. Tony Kozina, again, very happy that he got a chance to come back. Love Tornado Tony. And Cam got the win in the end. So, yeah, it was definitely my favorite match of CWE. Couple of small runners-up would have been the cage match. And what was the one that I was thinking? Chris Masters versus Chisel Chad Daniels was another fun match. The start of you posing in wrestlers putting you in hold. Yes, that was the start. That was before I don't think we did that show. Yeah, that was just before we started doing the pop spot. Mm-hmm. But I did get put in the master lock before the show, and it was before the show started. And it was great. The best picture I've taken. The best. It was a video. It was such a good picture that it was a video. And then you captured the picture out of the video, yeah. Well, yeah. We wanted to capture you getting it put onto you. There's a feel about that. And now it's a meme. I just get myself put in guests' moves. This was my match of the year. It was really close between a couple of other things, but this is my CWE match of the year. So we're going to continue with Adam's pick because we're going over to Tap Town Pro Wrestling. All right, Tap Town Pro Wrestling match of the year. This was easily the promotion that I had the biggest trouble with on match of the year. I had a few options. Really, it was literally hair thin between this, and I want to shout out on the 3rd anniversary show the John Tavius Fatal 4-Way, which was John Tavius, Alex Explosion, Mitch Clark, and I believe it was Dalton Rogue was the 4th one. That was a phenomenal Fatal 4-Way, and the difference between that and this is literally thinner than a gnat's wing. But I am going to give it to Krieger, Mo Jabari, and Mark Wheeler for several reasons. Golden Gun, Mark Wheeler being Golden Gun. I love Mark Wheeler, and I really hope he comes back in the new year because he was a joy to talk to, and he even watched the show. He's like, "Thank you for the kind words." It was very cool. Mo, regardless of what he says, I think Mo is a pretty fun guy. He had a good year. He was like the Oceanic Championship for the Jericho Cruise. He was king of the Triple Threat for the first 2/3 of the year. He had a really good run. But the main reason this is on here is that this is the beginning of Krieger's king of the Triple Threat run. Okay. Yeah, so Krieger was that very slight number 4 in the newcomers list. Don't worry, there is more coming.
There's a reason he's not on the newcomers list, and it ain't just
because he got edged out. I will go into Krieger a bit more later, but this match was a really great showing for Krieger. He held his own with Golden Gun Mark Wheeler and Mo Jabari and actually came out with the win in the end. And it was relatively clean. Like, you can't complain about Krieger winning his belt. He is the Scottish king of the triple threat. And the day he comes back to Top Talent, February 21st or 20th or whatever day it is in February, is going to be one of the greatest days in Top Talent's history. And there is nothing you can say 20th. To deny that, because he is the best booked champion in the promotion right now. Yeah. This match was incredible. I'm going to leave it at that. I don't know if there's a way for you to watch it. Go watch our show. Go watch us rant about it on our August 21st show, the Danhausen show. This match was phenomenal. I don't think we were doing match of the night at the time, but if we were, this is absolutely my match of the night. Don't fact check me. All right, what's your top talent match of the night, Andre?
For a lot of the same reasons you just said, I have a follow-up match to this. It was Krieger in his first defense of the King of the Triple Threats against our boys, Mitch Clark and Rich King. This match means a lot to me because it's 3 people I absolutely love in this business. Rich, again, he means a lot to me on a personal level as a friend. And I think he's blossomed into just amazing professional wrestler and had just an insane glow up in everything he's done this year. Mitch Clark, I give him flowers every show. I think this dude is an absolutely incredible technician in the world of professional wrestling. I loved him when I was a big fan of him. I'm trying to be a fan of all Canadian fighters in the UFC. So as a fan of him, I watched him in the UFC. And when I got to become a fan of him when he was in MPW and get to meet him and then become a friend, I feel like he's a friend now over these last couple of years of us covering professional wrestling. You still need to get me a shirt, Mitch. I still need a shirt, bro. But absolutely phenomenal. And then Krieger in his first defense of the King of the Triple Threats. It was an absolutely tremendous match. He looked like $1 million. And the way these 3 flowed in this match was absolutely tremendous. And I just had so much fun with this. There were so many good matches to pick from. And I just was drawn to this because 3 of my favorite people in professional wrestling.
Yep. That is a valid pick.
I had to go with it.
It's such a valid pick because this was also on my list for a while there. But again, it was literally barely edged out by the other 2 I mentioned. It was very close.
The other triple threat was on my short list. But
Golden Gun, man. Bang, bang.
I want to see more. And I know we saw him in was it Love Wrestling? Was it earlier in 2025 or was it in 2024?
And probably in 2024. It was either early in 2025 or 2024. It was before me. It was before I was there.
Yeah, and again, I can't wait for more, but I can't wait for more from all 3 of these guys, and I'd love to see them run it back in any promotion they work in. I'm down with. Just give me more of this.
Dude, hear me out. Rich King, Krieger, Mitch Clark, triple threat for the RCW Canadian title at some point.
Oh. The only thing is, I want to throw one more person in there, and I want to throw Soy in there to make it a 4-way.
Yes, please. Book it. Come on.
Yeah. All right, we're going to go to Love Pro Wrestling next for our match there, and it's our match of the year.
Oh, we have the same. Yes.
For me, I'm going to go into this a little bit before. This was at Adam's first show for LPW.
My first LPW show.
So I was sitting there, and I knew this was going to be a banger. I knew this was going to be a top shelf match. I had it between this and the Revolution Rumble. I had a graphic made up already with me picking the Revolution Rumble, and I went, no, it's the tag match. AWS is right.
It was that close, really? Wow.
I was already making a graphic for the Revolution Rumble, and I kept looking at your graphic and going, man, it was so good. And just 2 of my favorite teams in this world having one of the most epic matches I've seen in like all of this year. Like there's not a tag match that tops it. The other matches on this list are, I don't know if any of the other matches we picked for match of the year top this. Like
it's definitely a debate, but
yeah,
I think I'm with you that this is the best match that happened in 2025. If you wanted to actually put a gun to my head,
every company up against it, I might have to pick this. There's another one that means something to me for sentimental reasons, but this was absolutely phenomenal. Bell to bell, these guys went for a while, but it's one of those matches where it goes a while, but you never get tired.
That's exactly what it was.
It was all high, go, go, go. Never stop, never let you catch your breath, and it was the perfect thing.
Yeah, this was the main event of that evening. It was, if I remember correctly, a 40 to 45 minute Faustian odyssey that these two teams crafted genuinely. They went through 5 acts, and it being the main event of the show, I thought I was going to get tired because it was like almost 10:30 when we got let out. No, I was by the end of the match, I'm like, oh god, I could have watched them go for another 20 minutes.
I was more awake by the end of that match than I was at I had more energy because they just fired me up. So I had energy going into it, but I had more energy at the end.
Yeah, no, genuinely, I could have watched these guys go for another 20 minutes after they finished. There were so many amazing spots. I think this was the first show that I had seen where they did the bum pad spot. They did it at Black Label.
They did it at Black Hole. Yeah. At Black Hole. Sorry. They did it at Black Hole. Yeah.
We got not 1, not 2, but 3 murders, which is phenomenal. Yeah, no, like genuinely, these 4 guys are some of the best tag team wrestlers in the industry right now, in my opinion. And them together literally created, if you had to put a gun to my head and say you can only pick one, this is my match of the year for 2025. But it is very close.
Yeah. So we're going to go over to the final company we're going to cover in our matches of the year. It's RCW, and we're going to AWS first.
Very good. Okay, so this was also a tag team match. It is RCW Gold Rush's main event. It was the Rads before Larry, TY, and Rich.
Larry was there. Larry was still a Rad.
Larry never went to
ruined the Rads yet. He hadn't ruined the Rads at this point.
Yeah, because Larry never went to RCW, so Larry was never a point of contention.
He used to come to RCW.
Oh, okay.
Used to. Then he just stopped coming because he's a jerk.
Yeah, that's correct. So yeah, it's the Rads back when they were RCW International Tag Champs, taking on the Celtic Union of Krieger and Son of Irish. This is my only time I have in my awards list to give Soy his flowers, so I will absolutely take that opportunity.
Which is absolutely criminal from both of us because I don't have him picked at all and anything, and he had an amazing year. He was on short list for me, but other things just edged him out. I'm sorry, buddy.
He was on my short list for RCW Wrestler of the Year. The only reason that I edged him out was because, unfortunately, he suffered that injury, which is not his fault. It's not anyone's fault, but it did cause his year to slightly be edged out by someone else. This match is phenomenal. Again, 4 of my favorite workers in the industry, T.Y. Jackson and Rich King, are a great tag team, no matter what they say about each other in Love Now. They were, and I think still could be great together if they could just get past the whole Larry thing. Yeah, the Rads are one of my favorite tag teams. And Celtic Union, again, Krieger and Soy, they're the perfect balance of speed and power. They're essentially a perfect tag team in my eyes. And this show was capped off by Soy and Krieger beating the Rads and becoming RCW International Tag Team champions. And I was, in the moment, because I'm such a huge Rads fan, I was devastated. But the more I thought about it, I was like, holy crap. Krieger and Soy are champs. I'm super stoked about this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was super cool, and they had a really good. They were set up. They had a really good potential for a great year of defenses, and unfortunately, Soy's injury sidelined that whole thing, which is unfortunate.
Yeah.
Again, Soy is one of my favorite technical high flyers in this industry. It's criminal that I didn't put him as my RCW Wrestler of the Year. But again, it was mostly because of the injury. I truly do. He did come back at the very end of December, so I'm hoping he has some more bangers in store for 2026, so that I can potentially give him 2026 RCW Wrestler of the Year. This match was phenomenal. Genuinely, I wish there was a way you could go back and watch it, because this match, it was really, really good. It wasn't as good as Short King's Paralera, but it is one of my favorite. If you had to give me, I have like a top 5 tag team matches this year. This is number 2.
Yeah. So before we go to mine, I sent AWS a message a couple days ago of my
with like 9 matches on his short list.
My short list was 9 matches long. I had so many good matches on there. I slowly whittled my way down, but emotion rang out for me.
Emotion wins in the end.
And it's the 5-way match from RCW Ignition. I knew as soon as I said emotion, AWS would know. AWS missed this show when he was working dark.
Yeah, I missed it, unfortunately, but I did get a chance to look back at the footage.
So this match was originally a singles match between Rich King and Nate Nixon. On the day, became between Krieger and Nate Nixon, and became a 4-way match between Rich, Krieger, Nate, and Weston. And then Gutsy was out with Weston.
As usual.
I've got some
this is that match.
I got some money for you. I threw it away already. I had to shred it because it's garbage. Put it in my pocket. I didn't check it. And he paid me to put him in the match to try to help give Weston. I feel like to give Weston an advantage, which he was trying to do throughout the match. And I put him in the match. Dumbass of myself. But not so dumbass.
It's okay. You don't beat yourself up about it. Now you learn.
Oh, I don't because this match was like, despite Gussie, this match was absolutely incredible. 4 of, I think, some of the best wrestlers going right now. 4 of the best young wrestlers in this. Weston King has been a revelation for these last couple of years. Watching him go, Nate Nixon, I think, has been absolutely incredible, showing how good and how dynamic this man is. Krieger has just had a hell of a 2025, looking just coming over to Canada, showing how absolutely tremendous that he is. So good. Rich King, again, I've said it multiple times on the show, great friend, great professional wrestler, has an absolutely glow up of a year. And Gussie Jones, despite how much I dislike this man, he added a comedic sense to an absolutely incredible work rate match. And in the end, I didn't know who won this. I was just given a card. I didn't know. And I that's how I prefer. I don't want to know who wins. I just want to be given the card so I know who to announce and what to do. And I'll call the winner as a shoot. This match literally gave me one of my favorite moments of this year. And when Rich King picked up Gussie, hit him with the Rich Olympic Slam, as we like to call it here.
Yep.
He gets the 1, the 2, and the 3. I jumped out of my chair, grabbed the Canadian title, started running over to the apron, and yelling into the microphone, "Your winner and new RCW Canadian champion, Rich King," made me so happy in more ways. Again, I'm a huge fan of Rich King, and it just made me so happy in so many ways to get to announce that for somebody I love in this business.
Yeah, this was your Samantha Irving moment where
it was my Samantha Irving calling for Cody Rhodes. It was me calling for Rich. I 100% believe that, because it was just getting to see somebody I absolutely adore in this business do that. It was just an amazing match, top to bottom, and just is that perfect ending that put it over the top for me, and just absolutely. I love this match.
Truly phenomenal.
Yeah, but matches of the year out of the way, we have 2 more categories to go through, 6 more awards to give. We have tag team of the year, and we have
6. I have 5 here.
No, we got 7 more awards to give over 2 more categories. Let's just say that. We have 7 more awards to give out over 2 more categories. We're going to go to tag team here. We're going to mine first. And speaking of our favorite LPW match of the year, I'm going with the tag team champions. They're holding the belts all year long. Most of this year, they've held these titles. They're absolutely one of my favorite teams. 2 of the best wrestlers and people I've met in this business. Just absolutely tremendous. They have the swagger, they have the attitude, and they have the cosplay chops that nobody has compared to them. And
that Roman Paul Heyman picture kills me.
The Roman Paul Heyman from their stuff in Pro Wrestling, their Cheech and Chong from LPW, and then just everything else. Sheik over in Top Talent, rocking out a Wet Bandits look. The dude knows how to wig. I'll tell you that right now.
Yeah, the dude can rock a wig.
But yeah, I think including that incredible match they had with the Short Kings and all the other incredible matches they put on this year, I gotta give it to Paralira. They've absolutely just like even ending the year in the war between them, the Short Kings and the Mad Lads is now involved in all of this. Like 2026 is about to pop off with Paralira versus the Mad Lads versus Short Kings.
Yep.
I wait to see where the tag team, where they continue to go taking. Maybe they have a whole nother year reign with these titles. We don't know. But I love these 2 as a tag team. I think they're absolutely incredible. Sheik and B-Rat are just incredible, both professional wrestlers and just champions. And I've loved watching them in every match they've had this year.
That is a very valid and deserved tag team of the year for Paralira. I do love them too. But one team very slightly edged them out for me, and it's of course it's their opponents from Time to Pretend. It's the Short Kings. These guys have had an absolute banger year, both in singles and tag team. They had that again honorary Black Hole match of the year, KPK versus Short Kings tables match. Genuinely phenomenal match. Of course, Short Kings Paralira, one of the greatest matches in the history. They had a really good match at Purple City. I forget who they were wrestling the Blazes. Yeah, they were wrestling Stephen Crow and MRB. They had a great match with them at Purple City. They've had really good, singles matches, and Reed had that moment with Intangible Violence in October. They had a really good tag team showing in the Revolution Rumble, and they had a match before that as well with the Mad Lads that was absolutely incredible. These guys are 2 of my favorite people in the business. They absolutely kill it every time they're together. I truly do hope that the magic never dies, because they have lightning in a bottle, these 2. They are perfect. They have perfect charisma. They're incredibly good at working with each other. They know each other's flow down to the micro instant. And it is truly a joy watching them wrestle every time I see them.
And you got to give them props. They've been running this year. They're in a whole full year plus now as the Pro Wrestling Tag Team Champions.
Yeah, to be fair, I've never
not even just not even just. I just know from talking with Bobby Munson from who works with Perry Pro, just their incredible run over there. So I 100% see everything they've done here in Edmonton, plus what they've done outside.
Plus the year-long reign as Prairie Pro tag champs. They are absolutely in the talk of best tag team of the year. Like, not just in Edmonton, but like in general for me. Like, they're genuinely in my top 5 tag teams in all of wrestling. It has truly been a joy to watch them work, and I cannot wait to see them, Paralira, and the Mad Lads absolutely kill it at LPW 44. And I hope the magic continues. Like I said, very, very solid tag team of the year.
Yeah. So we've got one award left. It's Wrestler of the Year.
Across 4 promotions.
Across 4 promotions. We got 5 awards to give out.
Oh, damn. Really? That many of our that many are the same? Okay.
Yep. So we kick it off with CWE, where we agreed on Kamikaze becoming our Wrestler of the Year. Our boy Kamikaze, who was my runner-up for Match of the Year, who won your Match of the Year. Again, this is another person who I know I can call him a genuine friend. He's been my friend for a lot of years now, especially these last couple of years since he returned. We're gonna make the announcement right now. He's going to be the first person we talk to on Pop Spots Presents. We're gonna re-up my old conversation with him from when I did on Chop Talk a couple of years back. We're gonna redo that. It's gonna be me, AWS, talking to this man for the first ever episode of Pop Spots Presents. I might as well shout it out right now. But yeah, we'll talk about it again at the end of the show.
We're excited for it.
Kamikaze will be our first, and I've got a few people that I've already been like, yeah, happy to do it. So, but Kamikaze will be our first because I know I have so much history of professional wrestling to talk to him, and so much history of Power Rangers and Ninja Turtles to talk to him on Pop Spots Events. That's going to be a long show because we're going to have a lot to talk about.
Yeah, we're going to have it's probably going to be an hour and a half long, genuinely.
We give him CW Wrestler of the Year, but he's been touring with them, but he's also had incredible matches in RCW. He was the RCW British Commonwealth Champion for a while this year. I think he's had it after the tournament this year, but in CW itself, was it the Central Canadian Champion for a while?
Yeah, he was before he dropped that to Chad.
No, that's not Chad's title. That's
not Chad. Title. Sorry, he dropped it to someone. I can't.
Yeah, he dropped it to somebody else. But he had an absolutely incredible run this year, doing some crazy stuff, working with Austin Aries, working with all these other guys. I know he went to wrestle Austin and tag with Austin on other shows. Same with Brian Kendrick. Same with Chris Masters. He worked with all these guys.
Yeah,
had such an incredible year, and I know he's poised to have an incredible 2026 because he's got the tour coming up soon in February.
He's on a tour right now in Ontario with Brian Kendrick again.
He's on the Ontario tour right now. So again, there's a really strong chance that Kamikaze could repeat in 2026. But what does Cody Mack do? Because Cody Mack was at the top of my list also.
He was also on my short list because
he was on my short. He was at the top of my list too. So again, there's so many good talents. Chad Daniels was high up on my list. But yeah, I think Kamikaze just means so much to me on a personal level, and he had such an incredible year in the CWE stuff, the 3 CWE shows that we did see this year. I got to give it to Kamikaze.
Yeah, I agree. Cam had a banger year. He had, and I say this, with my history with the man in mind, he has my favorite match with Weston King. His match with Weston is my favorite match of his. He's had like Andre said, banger matches in RCW and in CWE. He won the Rumble to remember, so he has a title shot coming up in February against Chad. We know that for certain. I just hope that he keeps rolling. Genuinely, I hope Cam keeps rolling because he is one of my favorite people to talk to. He's a genuinely nice, kind human being, and I cannot wait to see him again in February and on the show before that. Everything he said twice, that's exactly how I feel.
So we're going to go to top talent next. And again, we're together on this one.
Yeah.
And I'm going to talk about this one. I'm going to let him go off on this one.
Yeah. This is the moment that Krieger gets his flowers. Krieger, again, a complete surprise. He showed up in Edmonton in January, started doing shows in February with RCW and Top Talent. Just instantly, like the moment he came out, I'm like, okay, I'm latched onto this guy. This guy is sweet. He has been nothing but professional. He's taken the abuse of Canadian wrestling crowds in stride, which is completely bonkers, by the way, that anyone can hate this generational talent of a man. He has had banger after banger of matches in every promotion he's touched. like I said, in August, he became the king of the triple threat. He became RCW Canadian Championship not once, but twice this year, before eventually dropping it to Rich King, which, again, fair. He's had an absolute banger year. He's collected gold in every promotion he's been in. He's still holding the king of the triple threat, and dominantly, may I add. Everything about this man, his power, his technical skill, his ability to overcome adversity in every match that he has ever been in, it's all just such a joy to see. I flip out every time I hear his music hit. And it's not just because it's Rage Against the Machine, but it's definitely helped by that. I could go on for hours. I don't want to go on for hours, but just know that Krieger is is my wrestler for the year of Top Talent. And if you had to put a gun to my head and say pick one wrestler across all promotions, Krieger, in my opinion, has had the best 2025 of every wrestler in Edmonton. And I will stand by that. I hope he has a phenomenal 2026 that's just as good, if not better, than 2025. I cannot wait to see what the new year holds for Krieger. Genuinely, thank you for coming to Edmonton and blessing us with your talent.
Yeah, I second everything you just said. I think he's had an absolutely incredible year, going from this, like, coming in, joining up with Soy early on in the year, and just the abuse he's taken from crowds, calling him Shrek. Everything,
and the RC, I forgot he won the RCW International Tag Champs as well. My bad.
You literally talked about it just earlier.
I literally had that match in my match of the year. I forgot to mention it. My bad.
Yeah, but he's just had such a great year, debuting in Top Talent and just having the glow up he did there, going from there, winning the King of the Triple Threat, and coming back in this Scottish King and this Scottish King gimmick in Top Talent, where he's got the championship. He's showing why he's a king. Has a bagpiper that looks a hell of a lot.
He's like a ringer for Roddy Piper.
This dude could make money as a Roddy Piper impersonator.
Let's also not forget this man. Sorry, let's not also forget this man was the man that wrestled Ultimo Guerrero on the 3rd anniversary show. Let's not forget that.
Incredible match with Ultimo Guerrero. Part of the reason why Guerrero is one of my top 3 of the year. And watch him work with somebody who I think is absolutely incredible, and just had such an incredible 2025 everywhere, but especially in Top Talent, going from debuting at the start of the year to now being like the king of the triple threats, having one of your top matches here in Ultimo Guerrero, and just I loved it. I think he did an absolutely incredible job, and again, another person who I consider a friend, and I think both of us can.
More or less, yeah. Like I've definitely done some things for him. I think he still has the picture of me photoshopping his face on the championship.
But yeah, I think just absolutely incredible year for him, and I think he absolutely deserves the Top Talent Wrestler of the Year.
Absolutely strong. What were we doing next?
We're going to LPW, and this is where we differ on our.
This is the one where we differ. Okay, that makes sense.
We're going to go to AWS first, because mine, I think, is going to surprise a bunch of people. People that watch and my co-host. So we're gonna go to.
I'm excited to see what you do. Okay, so yeah, my LPW Wrestler of the Year is probably not a surprise to anyone. T.Y. Jackson has had a banger year across every promotion he's touched. I know that Rich may have some adversity towards this, and I get it. I'll explain. This man may have lost every title match he had in the early parts of his year in LPW. He's lost a couple of grand championship matches, but he has overcome adversity. He has overcome the Larry Rads coup of 2025 because Larry does horrible things and ruins everything that is good. He has overcome that adversity. He has managed to come back. He, from number 1, won the Revolution Rumble, which is probably the most impressive thing TY has done this year. Yep. He had an absolute banger feud with Kato in RCW as well. Of course, the origins of Neuter the Cat. unfortunately. Thanks, Andreas.
But just an incredible LPW year.
Yeah, he's had an incredible calendar year in LPW. He's wrestled some of the greatest people in the business. He's had a consistent feud with his former best friend, Rich King.
Wasn't he also Scramble champion at some point this year too?
If it was before my time, because when I came on, Scramble champ was Rose.
Yeah, I think he had it at the start, around the start of this year.
He may have had it around the start of this year if you do some fact checking. But he's had an absolute banger year in LPW and other promotions, but especially LPW. Capped off with him winning the Revolution Rumble from number 1, overcoming all that adversity and lasting almost an hour, I believe, in that match. And above all that, he has become...
Sorry, that was all last year. Yeah, I apologize.
That was all last year? Okay. And above all of that, I think...
Technically, 2 years ago, because it's 2026 as we talk about this, but all 2024, sorry.
Yeah, no, it's fine. I get what you meant. But I think beyond everything, I think my favorite thing about TY is that I feel like I can actually consider him a friend now. We have chatted a lot about, wrestling and my possible ambitions to possibly do something when I have money kicking around. I might do some training. He's been a well of advice. He's been a absolutely positive influence every time I chat with him. I just love shooting the shit with him. I just realized I completely snubbed Othias. Oh no.
I feel for you, brother, but again, it happens. It happens.
No, but yeah, genuinely, he is my second favorite person that I like to talk to at wrestling shows beyond Othias. But yeah, no, like I could go on again. I go on for too long with these.
Go ahead. Talk all you want, man. This is about appreciating the people matches and we love him in Edmonton independent wrestling scene right now.
Yeah, I just don't want to go too long. It's just TY is probably one of my favorite people in wrestling. I could say that about like 90% of the people I've met, because everyone I've met and physically talked to, apart from a couple people that are really intense, have been nothing but nice and chill and absolutely amazing to talk to. TY, great year. Phenomenal wrestler, phenomenal stuff he's done, winning the Revolution Rumble from number 1 again. Nice guy. He is the perfect package in terms of a top tier babyface. So TY is my wrestler of the year for LPW. Now let's get to yours, because I'm kind of excited.
Okay. So when it comes to LPW, this has been an incredible year of professional wrestling in LPW. So many people that I've loved and have hated in this company. Yep. And even the people I hate, I still put respect on their name for what they get in that ring and do.
Yep.
I think a lot of people might expect me to pick Michael Richard Blaze. I put Michael Richard Blaze at the top of my list of favorite professional wrestlers of all time, like including WWE and everything. I still put Michael above a lot of those people. Again, a lot of personal reasons to that. People would think I might put Rich King in this award because my love for Rich King, and I think the incredible glow up that he has had this year in LPW.
Yep.
Not going there. See, people might think I would go to TY because he's had such an incredible year. Nope. Some people might go to Zoe Sager. I think I would go to Zoe Sager. Because again, I turned myself very much around on her as a fan of her this year, and I think she's had an incredible year. It's not to her. I'm going to put some respect on his name because I haven't been putting respect on his name this year. I'm giving it to the LPW.
Hey,
now I haven't been the nicest person to Stephen Crow in the crowds at shows, and he very much knows that because he gets in my face about it.
He rebuffed you when you announced him wrong.
Yes, I announced things wrong. So I think, despite my thinking he's not the best brother in the world, Stephen Crow to Michael Richard Blaze, I think he's had an incredible year. Into this year still working in his tag team Ride or Die with his partner TFA, having the year start off that way, losing the tag titles to actually at that point Intangible Violence, and then going into the 4-way and getting this eventually winning the championship. 4-way in Calgary, then winning the championship, and just I've been booing him because, especially with Zoe Sager's return and her ZPW championship, I was cheering for Zoe throughout it all because I've really become a big Zoe fan. But Crow, I think, has had such an incredible year. All the people that he has wrestled, his match with Jinha from that same show we talked about from Paralira,
great match.
Those two had just a absolutely stellar match. I gotta give Crow, and then him finally going head to head with Zoe in the ladder match and defeating her to become the undisputed LPW champion. Yep. I gotta put some respect on his name. I've been on him all year, but he's had just this incredible 2025, and I gotta give it to Stephen Crow because I don't think there is another wrestler that has had the success and the outstanding moments, but also the success that he has had in 2025. Nobody's had that. Well, TY has had a great year. The success factor really comes in for me with this one. And I gotta give it to Stephen Crow. He's put on. I haven't been disappointed by it. There's no matches that I'm disappointed by. Because his run in the singles division has been absolutely incredible. He's so good, and I'm still good. I'm still going to show up at the January 22nd and 23rd shows. I'm still going to. I can't really boo him on the 22nd show because I can't. I can't. I got to be professional. Make me do it. I got to be professional. But on this 23rd, I'm still going to be booing this man. But I got respect. I've got a lot of respect, and I think he's had such an incredible year. I can't name anyone else my LPW rest of the year other than the grand champion, Stephen Crow.
Yeah, I will say I am thoroughly surprised. I was genuinely super afraid that you were going to pick Larry for a second there.
Why?
I don't know. I just felt like that's where we were going, and I'm so glad we went somewhere else.
If this was the worst of show of 2025, like we were giving out our worst of awards,
everything is Larry.
I wouldn't be saying he's the worst wrestler or anything. I was just saying he had the worst year because he ruined a team. He stole championship title. Well, that's championship title was last year. It was 2024. But like just ruining a team, not listening to people, just doing dumb things. But no, it's
his mom makes terrible cookies.
There you go. But one more wrestler of the year coming out of RCW, and that one.
The same on this.
This one means something. He is the one to give me my greatest moment of this year in RCW. It's our boy, Rich King. Tips up for the King, King of the North.
The radsest champion alive.
He had the tag team titles in the early part of the year, dropped him to Celtic Union, came along, he also had a fun little run with Kato, which I had their match on my short list.
Yeah, that ended in the dog collar match that was on your short list.
Cat collar match.
Cat collar match.
And then he won the championship. Just had an incredible match with Dean Richter at Boxing Day Brawl. Had a great summer, and just you saw the evolution we saw in LPW. The character doesn't have that same attitude in RCW, but he has had the same level up. He's had the same level up into success in RCW. And technically, you could say more success in RCW because he's a champion there.
Yeah.
I got to give it to Rich King. He's my boy. He's my friend. He's absolutely incredible. I'm biased. There's a big bias here. I'm sorry to everybody else at RCW.
It's pretty heavily biased, yeah.
Because there's one other person that I was biting my nails, but he had to give up his championship, and Mitch Clark, because he went out injured for a while. I was clawing between Rich, between Matthias, between Mitch, between Soy, between Krieger. I had so many options. Nate, I had so many options in RCW, but it comes down to just the true who made me feel the greatest.
Mm-hmm. Can I be honest with you, Andre? This was, besides top talent match of the year, this was the category I had the hardest time deciding. My short list, and I didn't send it to you because I thought I could figure it out myself, and I did. But my short list was 12 wrestlers.
Holy man. Yeah, I had a bunch on mine, man. Like, there's a lot. There's a lot.
Yeah, no, there was basically everyone you mentioned. Kato was also one I was thinking about because he had a pretty good year. Sid Greed had like his Cinderella story last run of his career, supposedly, and it culminated in that last ride death match that was originally my match of the year for RCW until I thought about it. Yeah, no, genuinely, this was the hardest one, but I had to go with a little bit of bias. He had by far the best year with multiple championships. He's a very good friend. He has helped me and Andre with fitness, and that is definitely a bias there. But, I mean, if it weren't for the fact that Mitch and Soy both had to drop their titles due to injury,
this would have been so much harder.
It would have been so much harder. The only reason that Rich, like, the three reasons that Rich are up here is: one, he's had a great year; two, slight bias; three, Soy and Mitch were injured.
Consistency plays a factor into it, yeah.
Consistency as well. Don't get me wrong.
That's what I mean. The injuries messes up the consistency of that. Yeah. And again, like, Rich was the one that ended up going into that match with Soy for the North American Championship, kind of replacing Mitch Clark after he got hurt. And
that one was also on your short list.
That was on my short list. Like, there was the multi-man match that Mitch ended up winning on that show because he came back from his injury on that.
The ladder match, yes.
So there's so much good. There's so many good wrestlers that did incredible things on this year, but I gotta give it to Rich because again, I
agree with that.
Gave me that warmest feeling inside getting to announce him at the end of that show.
That definitely also would help for you. But yeah, no, like everything said, say it twice. Rich King, tips up. He is the wrestler of the year for RCW. So strong respect.
I have this shirt up, but I never mentioned him once. I'm sorry. I did mention Mad Lads, but
I will say my tag team shortlist did include the Mad Lads.
Well, mine did too.
They were on there.
Mine did too, but I gotta give. But again, let's go back to this. To everybody that we didn't pick on this list, I still love all of you. I still think Edmonton indie scene has so much many new places to go this year. There's going to be so much like things we may see. We could see. I'm hoping to see the return of Jared Rogers this year. He again, somebody else I absolutely love in professional who's been out injured most of the year. And so many people that there's probably people working at the clandestine school, working at the top talent school and other schools out there that may come to this province and show us just how good they are at professional wrestling. I can't wait. Like 2026 is going to be incredible. We're already lined up to go to. We've got tickets for top talent or for I'm going to buy those next couple of days. And tickets for LPW. At the end of this one, we have RCW. We're going to
this Saturday.
Saturday. Top Talent's coming up in February.
CWE's coming up in February.
Literally back-to-back days. We have Top Talent on the Friday. We have
CW on the Saturday.
So we have so much. And then Monster Pro may be entering our orbit this year for coverage.
I certainly hope it is.
If again, it's just depending on schedules and stuff. They are usually on a Friday night, which is harder, but it can make it work. It can be work. I can be there. I get to have the shows. Again, it was just I couldn't make this last one due to weather, but like just coverage alone, we have so much coming for this year. There's gonna be so many shows. Going to cover this year for all the promotions that are in the Edmonton area that do shows in the Edmonton area. We're going to try to hit them all. I hope to see a return of Black Hole Pro Wrestling.
I agree.
In this year, I would love to see them put on another crazy show,
another mega card,
maybe multiple. I would love to see it. I don't need to see it. That's one I'd like to see. 2-3 times this year. Just do some special events. I'd love to see that.
Yep.
And just to every promotion, I've enjoyed being at all of you, and I can't wait to see more. And I just can't wait to see what 2026 professional wrestling brings us for just a pop spot alone.
Yeah, there's so much coming up in the pipeline for the pop spot. You guys don't even know. We have obviously, like you said, we've got 4 or 5 shows this month. Because we've got
a bunch of shows to go to.
We got a bunch of shows in the next couple months. We've got Pop Spot Presents coming up with first guest Kamikaze, and apparently we got more in the pipeline that I'm excited to hear about later. I'm super excited for that. This again, I said this in the Boxing Day Brawl episode, but I'm going to say it again because it's the year-end rewards. Everyone who watches, thank you for sticking with us. Thank you for showing us the love that we have for professional wrestling back. Thank you to all the wrestlers that watch the show. There are so many, and even people that aren't currently in our orbit, but hopefully will be, like Alex Houston from MPW. Thank you for coming up to me during the intermission on Friday and saying, "Hey, I love your show. Can we get a shout out?" And I'm like, "Yeah, hopefully at some point in this year." Genuinely, I want more MPW.
Oh, I genuinely do want to go because I've heard a lot of good that has come out of MPW, and some of the guys that are doing really well. I've heard of Alex Houston, and I've heard good things about a bunch of the guys there. I'm a big fan of Wrath. Again, a guy I've gotten to watch wrestle for a long time. I used to watch him before pre-pandemic when I was going to MPW. I want to get back there. It was just really hard this year. A lot of busy this year, but I plan to make this big. I want to make it a priority to get as long as the scheduling works. I want to get out to see Monster Pro Wrestling this year. I just couldn't this month,
which is fair
because of the weather sucks.
Yeah, the weather sucks. I mean, you do have another shop this month. The next show is January 30th.
There we go. January 30th. I hope to be at Monster Pro Wrestling.
Yeah. Again, I'll finish this up. Everyone that watched, everyone that, came up to me or Andre and said, "Hey, I love what you're doing with the show." Everyone that has, given us feedback. Thank you very much for sticking with us and watching the show. We really appreciate you. There's a lot coming in 2026, both in wrestling and for the Pop Spot. So keep yourselves tuned in. I'm excited for what goes on in 2026.
Yeah, especially with Pop Spot. We're going to be bringing out Pop Spot events. It won't be a weekly thing it's going to be, we're going to do some interviews, get them out when we can. But we want to start talking to people in the local independent wrestling scene. And maybe if we can do it, I would like to speak to people that are outside of this province that we are familiar with. If I can get in contact with people and just chat about people's history in professional wrestling and what they love about outside of professional wrestling, things they do, the lives these people live that aren't just professional wrestling, but I want to know
people.
Want to know their history with professional wrestling. So we're going to talk about it. Kamikaze will be our first, but I know we've got a bunch of other people. We were planning to start doing this mid last year, but just life got in the way. I just couldn't get certain things into place to do this, but we're going to bring Prop Sauce Presents to BackBreaker video here in 2026, and it will be a good time. I can't wait to talk to some of these people and just have fun learning about.
Excited to pick some brains,
professional wrestling, and other things. Because
I'm super excited to pick some brains about this. We have talked a lot. 2025 was a big year.
2026,
phenomenal year.
We just imagine what 2026 is going to be. It's going to be crazy. But
it's going to be crazy. We need to get out of here, though.
But before we get out of here, where can they find you?
Yeah, all right. So you can find me, AWS, at the Bluesky, at awscomedy.bluesky.social. You can find me on the Instagrams at awscomedy, YEG. And if you want to watch me and hopefully new episodes of me, my buddy Malcolm, second best friend Malcolm, and our I was gonna say the Meowth to our Jesse and James Andreas.
No, that's giving him too much credit.
Damn. Okay.
He's more like the
he's the Wobbuffet.
He's the Wobbuffet. Yeah,
he's the Wobbuffet to our Jesse and James. The Morph-a-mania Podcast at youtube.com/@humanoidfreak2515. Hopefully we have some new episodes coming out. We're just about to head into the Lord Zed era at some point here. And hopefully we have Andre C on at some point because I know he's a huge Power Rangers mark. Super into it. One last shout out to the Grindstone Theater. They have had talking about people that have had a great 2025. Grindstone Theater had a great 2025. And we've got a lot of stuff in the pipeline for really cool shows coming out of the Grindstone Theater. I will shout out that the next, I think they are, they're now open again. I will say that there is going to be a mixtape improv show coming up on January 29th, which is the day before Monster Pro. It's a Thursday. I might be in that show. I don't know yet. We'll see. But that is when the next mixtape show is. So even if you're a fan of improv, definitely go check it out. That's my recommendation. You can still donate to keep the lights on at grindstonetheater.ca. There is a donation link. They are a great subsidized theater space for new and emerging artists. I shout them out whenever I can because they're basically a second home to me. That's enough from me, though. We need to get out of here. That's enough of me. Where can they find you, my friend?
You can find me in a lot of places, but you can find me right here on the X and Bluesky at That Canada Guy, Instagram and Threads at That Canada Dude. You can find me over on our local establishment every Sunday morning, 9 a.m. Mountain Standard Time, 11 a.m. Eastern, where I talk with my boy Bobby Munson about all the talks we do, and we just talk about sports in general. We have our NFL picks during the NFL season. We just did our final week of picks this past Sunday, so we'll be talking about. We're going to make some bold Super Bowl predictions next weekend about who's going to be in the Super Bowl. Even though we're going to have already seen some of the wild card games, we're going to make bold predictions next Sunday of the people in the playoffs, who's in the playoffs, who's making the Super Bowl, and who's winning it, all that kind of stuff. So check us out. You can also see me there. Coming up at the end of the month, Wonder Man is coming out. So we're going to have something coming up towards the end of January, start of February. We're going to have a Wonder Man review on over there on Marvel Talk. I'll be there with my boy, old Ed, and my girl, Peggy. Peggy. We're going to talk all about Wonder Man over there on our local establishment. But one other shout out I don't usually do, I want to give out to them. I just did their both best and worst of shows, best and worst of 2025 over at A+. I was hanging out with my boys, Hutch Henry's, Boris Aguilar, and our boy Yorkie, who both times we recorded this, he's the best of show. I think we started at 1 a.m. his time. And the worst of show, we started at midnight his time because he's over in the UK. So he battled for these shows, and it was absolutely tremendous, both shows. So go there, checking them out, aplusproductions.com. Made up more news coming on what I'm going to be doing with them throughout this year. I'll be talking about that later on. But yeah, so much more coming there. And then you can also find me right here at youtube.com/@BackBreaker video. All the great content from myself and AWS. Again, the pop spot. Every show, after every show we go to, we record a show. We'll talk about it. And again, pop spot trends coming very soon on BackBreaker video. You can also find Mike and all his great wrestling content here on BackBreaker video. If you want to see him live, you can see him live doing his AW watch alongs right here on YouTube and over at Twitch at twitch.tv/Mike the Referee. It does his AW watch alongs on Wednesdays, Saturdays, Thursdays when Collision's on Thursdays. He's doing them all. So check that out. And over on Twitch, he's also playing video games. So check him out there. And then if you want to see replays of his gaming content, go to youtube.com/@BackBreaker_gaming for all the replays of his great gaming content and other great gaming content from other creators that is in the archives. Going to give a quick shout out to all the companies we did talk about today. We'll talk about. I don't have a thing for them. Find out Black Hole Pro Wrestling on their socials. They're out there. Tell them you want more of them because it's absolutely incredible professional wrestling. We want to see more of them. Give a shout out to CWE, Canadians Wrestling Elite, CWCanada.ca or CWTickets.com for all your ticketing needs for all the great shows. You can find the schedule and all the great shows. You can also find them on Facebook at CWE Wrestling on Facebook. Give a shout out to Top Talent Pro Wrestling, TopTalentWrestling.com for all the great all the info you need for all this. And they got a wrestling school if you want to join up with them, TopTalentWrestling.com to get in, look at info on their academy. Give a shout out to your boys over at Real Canadian Wrestling. You can find them out on Facebook for all the info there, and they'll take the links to their tickets over on, I think it's Eventbrite. Or you can search up Real Canadian Wrestling on Eventbrite to find out when their tickets are in your local area here in Alberta. And one more shout out to Love Wrestling. Love Wrestling over there. Find lovewrestling.ca. And if you want tickets for the show, go to find them on Tixter. So Love Wrestling there for all the great content. We will be there on the 22nd and 23rd. You can come see me work. Come see me live. If you only want to come to the show on the 22nd, like $15. You can sit wherever the heck you want in that place. You can come and hang out with AWS. Watch me.
I'll be there.
Watch me make a fool of myself when ring announcing that show in the rec room. If I get the ring announce in the rec room, it's gonna be a great time. And then on the Friday we have the show.
LPW 44, Great Scott.
Why he picked LPW 44? He could have done at 88. He could have done at 121 for 1.21 gigawatts.
No, you see, that's the secret. 44 is half of 88. So he calls this one Great Scott, and he calls 88 like Power of Love or something.
Yeah. But yeah, lots of great content coming from them, so check them out.
And don't forget the Oil Rumble. The Oil Rumble coming up on the 25th.
Oil Rumble is on the 25th. So 2 days. Yeah. So like 3 events in 4 days. That's going to be crazy.
It's going to be banger. That was a lot of promotion talk. Can I get an absolutely massive pop for that?
Pop. Oh, you finished.
Pop. And whoop, whoop. So that brings us to the end of our Poppies 2025 awards. Thank you, everyone, for watching. It was a banger. I can't wait to see this come out. So until next time, make sure you like the video, comment, subscribe to BackBreaker Video to see all the great pop spot coming up in the new year. And until next time, stay poppin'. Bye-bye.